Well, I'm back in my thinking chair, and today I would really like to discuss water. Now, this is a really interesting subject. When I found out about this, it was quite amazing. And when I really thought about what it could mean, it just opened up a massive amount of thought-provoking but life-changing information. I don't know whether you've ever heard of Dr. Emoto. But Dr. Emoto did a lot of tests on water. So just to fill you in, there's been some scientific tests through electron microscopes of studying the crystals that are in our water, whether it be rivers, our city water supply, the ocean, whatever it is. It can actually be looked at under an electron microscope, which magnifies it, and they can see actual crystals, and they look sort of like similar to snowflakes. You know, the beautiful snowflakes? Well, I was very interested when I read this because I wanted to know, first of all, it was just interesting to know that they looked like snowflakes, and that they were actually crystals in our water. What was a bit disturbing was that when this research was done and they actually researched water in different parts, it showed the difference in the quality of water by the little crystals and the formations. So what was surprising, I suppose, was that some of the cities, and one I won't mention here in Australia, when they actually put the crystals under an electron microscope, they were brown and kind of curled up and not so good and didn't look very good at all. And so if that's the case, and then they go to a pristine area and examine the water crystals, and they were, you know, beautifully formed and transparent and they were, you know, all beautifully formed and crystal clear. And they were all in beautiful formation as they would have expected if it was pristine water. So if you had to drink some of that water, would you not want to drink the water that is pristine, that has like the perfect crystals, which means that when we put it in our body, which is, by the way, 70% water, so we do need a lot of water, and most of our body function, if not all, is regulated or worked well with water. We need water. It's absolutely essential. So again, there's this nature thing. We've got water that is absolutely, we can't survive without water. But now we've got a way of testing the water to see if that water is pristine and good quality. And then these tests were done with a lot of cities around the world, and they couldn't find pristine water in most of them. So that kind of tells us that the water we're drinking is obviously not very good quality. So if you're not putting very good quality water into your body, it can't be working very well. So this is something that's been really interesting, and we can now test it. So that's really something to ponder. What are we drinking? And how could we know without that extreme testing? I guess we don't. We have to trust that, you know, what's on the bottle, especially we buy bottled water. This has come from spring water in such and such. Well, I'm thinking about how many thousands of bottles are here in my supermarket, then you times that by all the supermarkets around even in Australia, and then you times them around the world. And anyway, it keeps going on with timesing these numbers and these numbers and these numbers. And if they're all from that particular spring in that particular place, wouldn't we have run out of water? Has it rained that much? Don't you ever question that? I do. So what's actually in the bottled water? What are we drinking? So it's really interesting. So, you know, you might want to do your own research on this to find out what you're actually drinking. Now, there was further tests done. they got two different containers of water, and this is what really fascinated me. They got two different containers of water that had pristine water in it. So they tested the crystals and they were really pristine and everything was really great. And then they decided to see if water can be affected, say, by emotion, which is energy. Now this I was fascinated by. This was testing done. So here you've got one jar of pristine water and here you've got another jar of pristine water put in two separate areas. And one particular container of water, they verbally said terrible things to it. You're ugly, you look horrible, you're brown, you're awful, and so on. To the other jar of water, that again had already been tested prior, they gave love. You're beautiful, you look amazing, you're so replenishing, you're fantastic. And then they after a period of time, a week, they then tested this again and found out that the ones that had derogatory comments at them went brown. The crystals were brown. And they were all curled up and they were horrible and they were malformed. That they were able to be affected in some way by that energy. When they tested the other jar, which had all the loving comments and the gratitude and the respect, those crystals stayed pristine and in perfect formation. So with that in mind, and we're 70% water, is it then not possible for your child, your loved one, family member, work colleague, whoever, that if we are constantly offering derogatory comments, or if they are actually given to ourselves, would it not affect our health? Because it could potentially affect the water crystals in our body. I want you to give that some thought. So if we say something bad to another, could we really be affecting their health and going far beyond just those words? And in fact, if we offer love and gratitude to somebody and to ourselves, could we not promote good health? Could it not, in fact, create us to be more vibrant, more happy, more balanced within ourselves, considering that all of our water crystals, or the crystals internally in our body, would actually be pristine and kept in beautiful form? I just think it's something to really think about, whether we're thinking or doing it to another person, or whether it's being done to us, or how we think about ourselves. Can that really affect our health? Interesting. Again, just something to think about. And why not do an experiment? Why not stand in front of the mirror and offer yourself some love and respect? And see if in fact you feel more energetic, more vibrant, more enriched, more fulfilled. Just try it. Can't hurt. Try it for a week. I'm going to. Anyway, I'll see you next time with another pondering thought. Thank you for watching the channel. Please visit our Facebook page, invite your friends, and remember, everyone's an animal whisperer. You just need to listen.